Welcome to Andy's Garage. I'm Andy Phillips. Today we're going to be doing a product review on this head gasket sealer by Blue Devil. Let's go ahead and get started. Now this product here, as it mentions here, is good for permanently repairing blown head gaskets, warped and cracked heads, leaking heater cores, leaking freeze plugs, and it's safe for all engines. I've used many other products before, and now we're going to be testing this one here, and we're going to see how it holds up. Now this product can be purchased pretty much anywhere. You can get it on Amazon, you can get it at Walmart, you can get it at automotive stores. It ranges anywhere from, I believe it's like $54.95 on Amazon. I think it's around $59 at Walmart. If you're going to like an Advanced or AutoZone, places like that, you're going to pay a little bit more because of them being more of a specialty store. I think I got this one at Advanced or AutoZone for around $60 or $65. Either way, if it can really fix your head gasket, that's a lot cheaper than taking it to a shop or trying to do it yourself and fixing the head gaskets. I've heard of people paying as much as $800 to $1,000 for blown head gaskets. So to spend $60, even if you're paying $69, like $70, it's a lot cheaper. What they say here on the back, and we're going to go through all that in this video, but if it works as they say, this is a very quick process. Anybody can do it yourself. You just pretty much pour it in, set up things according to the instructions properly, because that's always the issue. You'll have people that'll say, oh, I've tried this product, it didn't work, and when you look into it, they didn't follow the directions properly. So main thing is we follow the directions properly, and if you do that, anybody with minimal automotive experience to more experienced can use this and fix blown head gaskets inexpensive and effectively. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure that you have a blown head gasket. And there's a few symptoms I'm just going to go over that are clear indicators that you've got a blown head gasket. Sometimes there can be things a little more intricate that we're not going to get into, and at that case you may need to take it to a shop if you're not that mechanically inclined with working on your car. But in my opinion, one of the most obvious ones, at least that I've experienced over the years with my vehicles, is a car that overheats, and there's no other causes that could be leading it down that path, whether it be the radiator fan maybe is not working, or there's other indications like that that can cause overheating. If those have been checked, good chance if you've got an overheating vehicle, it's a very good chance that you've got a blown head gasket. Another one is your engine coolant reservoir tank right here. If you hear a gurgling or bubbling sound coming from that, a lot of times when you turn the car off after you've been driving it, you'll hear like a lot of bubbling and gurgling. That can also be an indication that you've got a blown head gasket because you've got air getting into your system. Another clear indicator is also this one. If you pull your oil dipstick out, you'll have kind of like a white milky-ish color in there, which is also an indication that you've got a blown head gasket because you've got coolant getting into your oil. And the last one that we're going to talk about, let's head around to the back of the vehicle on that one. And then lastly, you're going to have excessive white smoke coming out of your tailpipe, which is because coolant is leaking into the engine combustion chamber. Regular, just kind of like that vapory white smoke is not uncommon when you first start a car, but we're not talking about that. We're talking like an excessive thick white smoke, which was the case with this car when we diagnosed that it did have the blown head gasket, as well as with the car overheating. So it's not always all those symptoms. Sometimes you may have a vehicle that's only experiencing one or just a couple of the ones we talked about. Sometimes it could be all of them. Sometimes it could be some that are not even the ones we covered. I'm just covering the most common symptoms. So let's head around to the front so we can dive into the instructions on this Blue Devil product and run it through and see what the final results are. Now, before I start, let me just say, this particular vehicle here, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do all these steps. So we're going to go through it, and I'm going to show clips and stuff. But this particular vehicle, we've already done it. I went ahead, bought the product, tried it, ran it for over 1,500 miles because I wanted to really put it to the test before I even did this video. The mistake I made is I didn't film the steps showing all the issues we were having. So unfortunately, I'm just going to have to explain it. So as we go through these directions here, I'm going to show what needs to be done, but I won't be able to actually show it on a vehicle that's got the issues because I've already done all this to get it to this point. But I'm going to try to be as thorough as I can. So looking here on the back of the container, we have the directions. So let's go ahead and, as mentioned already, you want to follow this step by step. You want to do it properly. You don't want to cut corners because then you're going to have issues with this not working right. If you follow it exact, they guarantee that this works. Starting off here, first thing you want to do is cooling system must be clean and free flowing before applying it. So you want to make sure that you don't have any debris or obstructions in there. If so, you need to get that cleaned out. Next thing we need to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to remove your thermostat. Depending on your vehicle, the thermostat may be located, if you find your radiator cap, a lot of times if you trace that back, like on this particular vehicle, which is a Dodge Neon, you have 2 bolts right there. You pop those off and you can remove this. Your thermostat's behind that. Other vehicles, you may find it often this side over here. Pretty much what you're looking for is you're going to be looking for your radiator hose coming off the radiator, trace that back, and your thermostat is going to be in that path right there. And if you have a vehicle like this one where you have a radiator cap, it'll be right around in that area. If you don't have one with a radiator cap, as in some vehicles, then you're going to have to either check online or your manual to find out where your thermostat is located, so that way you can remove it. Once you remove your radiator thermostat, the next thing you're going to do then is you're going to reattach the line back on there, so that way we can open this radiator cap for the next step. And you want to flush your cooling system using Blue Devil Radiator Flush, and then flush it out with water. You're going to locate the drain plug on your radiator, so you're going to have to get under your vehicle and look for it. It's usually on the bottom on either the right or left side. Once you locate that, you're going to find your drain plug. Go ahead and turn it counterclockwise so you can start draining it, but make sure that it is definitely cold. You don't want to get burned. Once that's done, you're going to go ahead and run a Blue Devil Radiator Flush or an equivalent radiator flush through the system, and then go ahead and add just clear water. Once you start to see the clear water coming through and everything is flushed out, then you're going to go ahead and keep running that through, close the valve, tighten that up, fill it up with clear water, leaving enough space for the head gasket and sealant to be put into it. Depending on the size of your engine will determine whether you put the full container in or whether you just do a half container. So you're going to have to see, as far as for your vehicle, which one applies. But basically, when you fill the system with water, you want to leave enough room to add this without having it being overfilled. And as it mentions there, and we should have talked about this at the beginning, you want to make sure that the engine is cold before you do anything. You don't want to be draining the old coolant or trying to work on it with it very hot. You can get very badly burned and injured. So you want to make sure that everything is cooled down before you even mess with it. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to remove your radiator cap and start the engine while it's cold, and then turn the heater to the max. Let's go ahead and take that off. I'm going to go ahead and start the engine. Once we get it started and idling, then we're going to go ahead and turn the heater all the way to max, turn the vents on. Let's fire it up. All right, now we're letting it idle a little bit. Go ahead and set it all the way to maximum heat. Put it on vent. Turn it all the way on high. And then once you have that running, with the engine idling, you're going to go ahead and slowly, and keep in mind, they even have it bold on here, slowly pour Blue Devil into your radiator. Take about 1 minute of pour time for the entire bottle, 30 seconds for a half bottle. As again, depending on your vehicle, you want to pour it very slow. Let it do its job. Follow the directions. Now with the engine idling, we're going to slowly pour half of the container in here because that's what my vehicle requires. And you want to pour it slowly. Follow the instructions carefully. And just pour it slowly in there. Take your time. Let it do its job and work properly. Let the vehicle idle, because what you're going to do then is afterwards you're going to put the cap on, let it idle for about 50 minutes. You don't need to flush the system a second time after the process is complete. All right, now that we're done, what we're going to do is we're going to put the radiator cap back on. Put that there. Put the cap back on. And we're going to let the car idle for approximately 50 minutes to an hour. Just let it do its thing. Okay, it's been about 50 minutes. we just shut the car off. Next thing that we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and let the car cool down because you don't want to be opening this up now. Everything's going to be hot. But once it's cooled down, you want to remember to put your thermostat back on, put everything back together. Then afterwards, you're going to end off by letting the engine cool down before installing the thermostat back on. Drain enough fluid to refill it with the compatible antifreeze for your vehicle, and that should take care of your problem. We just went ahead and finished putting the thermostat back on. Everything is nice and cooled down. The next thing you want to do, even though you don't need to reflush the system, what you do want to do is drain some of it out, which we just finished doing as well. And we did it using the drain plug as we showed at the beginning. Everything's been drained enough so we can fill it with the appropriate antifreeze. So that's what we're going to do now is go ahead and fill it, top it off, and that should wrap it up. Okay, well, this video right here, what we did is we covered the steps that are required here in the directions to use this product and to use it properly, so that way you'll get the most out of the performance of it. This particular vehicle, I used this product on it over 1,500 miles ago, and it was a great success. So I just wanted to document the steps to do it and kind of give it a very accurate and a real product review, actually putting it to the test. Highly recommended. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate this product easily a 10. I've used other products. I've used the bars stop leak for head gaskets, which, to be honest, it actually did work. It did solve the head gasket issue, but in time, the metal particles caked up around the thermostat and caused further issues that had to be addressed, and we had to remove the thermostat and clean that out of there. What I like about this product, you don't have any of the particles. The way that it works is you have the agent in here, which actually is just a fluid. It gets into the actual gasket itself, and I believe what it does is it causes it to swell up, sealing any of the breaks in that and sealing it. This particular vehicle here had a major head gasket leak, and this solved the problem with one application quickly and easily. Like I said, over 1,500 miles ago, car runs great, the temperature runs great, no issues with any indications of air getting into the system, no bubbling in the reservoir tank, any of that. Car runs excellent. I've used it on other cars as well that had minor head gasket leaks, same thing. Never had any issues where it did not solve the problem. As mentioned on here, it's a complete guarantee. They guarantee it to work, and they guarantee it to work permanently. So I would highly recommend getting it. As mentioned already, there's other ones out there by other companies. The ones I've worked with, they work as well, but you're looking for trouble sometimes with those particles. So I would recommend this one instead. For 60 to 70 bucks, as opposed to upwards of over $1,000 for head gasket repair, you can't beat it. Anybody can do it as long as you can follow directions, read it, do it exactly as they're telling you the steps as we documented in this video. You should have no problems with that. So I hope this video was informative for you. I hope that it was helpful. Please send me questions, comments. If you have any comments as far as any testimonials of using this product, whether it be good or bad, please send them in. I would like to hear it. We'll post them on here. Thank you for the support on this channel. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.